Is this
And
charged
we
yet?
are
Yes.
live. We're here with Baron Yam and
What up?
Internal Sadist, aka Tico Trend.
What's going on? Yeah, we're gonna be doing the Baron and Sadie show.
Mm-hmm.
So get the likes up, share, comment, subscribe, and let's proceed. Let's proceed. So Tico,
Yep.
I've been doing a lot of research about gamma males. Have you ever heard of them?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
Um,
have.
so somebody sent me some pages about the gamma male, and since I'm never really familiar with it, or never really like known that much about it, I decided to look it up and read it. And like I just want to read some of the stuff from it because maybe that's going to help us to figure out what the gamma males are. And here's what I found. Let me go on Discord.
I forgot to change the
I
color of
just
this
want to read
everything.
some of the stuff
Ah!
from it because maybe that's. Is that me
Wait, what?
talking?
I did. I just opened YouTube by accident on my computer. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Figures.
I
No, but
pulled a Goozangs.
right. We're both like on the computer right now,
Uh-huh.
chatting. But it
Accidentally
was
hit
just
YouTube.
it's I think it's basically a gamma male acts like a woman,
Yeah, they
and
do.
that and they always are afraid of getting beat up,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
because they're afraid of getting beat up, they like will project this false camaraderie and false respect.
True.
And then on the outset, they also have like the predatory mindset where if they spot any bit of if they feel like or if they feel like they can take advantage of somebody, they go in on that person and like try to say things to make them feel try to say things to make them like threatening them. And it's kind of like when you're watching World Star Hip Hop and the girl's like, "You're not gonna hit me. I'm a girl. You're not gonna hit me. What are you gonna do about it?" And then to like provoke an altercation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that person is essentially asking to get
Mollywop.
hit. Yeah. Muffed.
Mollywop. I like that word.
And then like as soon as I learned what that was, it like a bunch of things clicked into place for me in my life because I recognize that like certain people that I see, they don't exist on the old, outdated socio gender spectrum or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they don't really like work
Or
with
they
that old
don't.
model.
Or they don't really exist on the Ontar Alpha Beta Sigma male
And Omega,
hierarchy
yeah,
either.
those four, those four are the core, and then now you have like a bunch of splinters, splinted off versions of those four.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to me because if you think about it, like women are kind of exhausted and desperate
Oh, they definitely are.
mentally. I mean, in today's world, because the yoga pants that they have on nowadays, they lie to simps, they lie to women, but yet they show men the truth,
They most definitely do.
and they show them what women want, which is attention. And if you
Oh, always.
look at that video that's been circling around where the girls are jumping, are raping the model and jumping up and clapping. That
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're literally making sounds in order to attract a mate because it's like a very desperate climate that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the gamma males try to make it seem like there's a lot more out there, which explains the shaming that they use when it comes to attracting attention from men. And what happens is they're harming each other, harming other people for their need for attention. And it's sad because, like, I think when men get jealous or envious, I look at that as a character flaw. And
Hmm.
I don't know if it's like due to someone, because I think it's a mixture of things. I think it's like it is. I think Wolf was showing me earlier that there was like uh, that made me think of like that track star or that all American kid in high school that
Hmm.
had like a bunch of accolades and then got into the real world and like didn't do anything. Or I think about the person who like always got said, "Good game, coach," or how tall is she? How tall?
Leave,
Or
leave it to her ass.
they said something they said something like, where it's okay to not be like that because you have special privileges and you have to depend on your image in order to attract somebody to you, so you always need to be focused on. And I kind of think that not only women but a lot of men go through the same process when they're youth. Like they get kind of socialized by their mother to act a certain way, and then they get shamed if they don't act in that certain way, and then that leads to them being like the track star, or like the all star, or like the person who got a participation trophy for everything they did. And then now that nobody wants to really give them a participation trophy, they are like they're reacting harshly to the pressure of needing to improve themselves and become better, and they're like falling deeper into spiral mode.
Yeah, they definitely do.
And yeah, they exhibit a lot of female qualities.
Oh, organic gamma
But
qualities like
oh, sorry, yeah, that's an important distinction. It's all it's over, right?
yeah.
No, but yeah, but I agree with what Red Pill Mind Palace is saying. I agree with what Rose is saying. And
I sent her an
women
invite.
can always spend more time in the mirror in order to control their looks. But the thing is with men, they don't really have this guaranteed place for like reflection, because a man who are in high demand positions, they spend like no time managing their selves socially because they usually have a network, like a group of people to protect them.
Hmm.
And when a person like falls off this network and is still in that state of mind, I think they become, I don't know how to describe it, but they become like almost like a gamma male.
They definitely do.
Yeah. And I
Can't even
think
call them a
the
beta because
purpose
that'd
of
be
the
disrespectful to
yeah,
betas.
I know, you're totally right. I mean, what do you call
Beta.
them? I think in this day and age, we would probably call a person like that, like in our in our juvenile negligence, I'd probably call that person an incel, or isn't that what we would
No, we
typically
wouldn't
call
really
that
call
kind
him.
of
You
person?
wouldn't really call him incel. You would probably call him a cuck or
Yeah.
golden simp or a
Yeah,
person that
well,
tries to plays both sides of the fence basically, but act like they're not. Kind of like McCall Dictionary.
huh. Oh, now that you mention it, yeah, that I would say that definitely
He's definitely a
matches the
gamma.
description.
He's definitely a gamma.
And I think controlling where men go and what they do has always been an age-old business. It's called prostitution.
Hmm.
And I think whenever you get engaged in like these, and in the I'll send you the link, but they call it the secret kings. Whenever you get involved with them, they always act like they have this like network of you know underground people, but they're really just all alone.
Hmm.
And it's just like it's funny to see how they have this perceived power, and you see right through it, but you can't really express it too blatantly.
Very true.
And I think that in this day and age, women have failed the government in their ability to account for these like these kind of gamma males and raise them right
Well, the sad part about that,
because they are the
gamma
less fair
males,
sex.
the sad part about
They're the less.
gamma males are a interesting breed.
I really wish we could have Rose Blades over here so that she could talk about it.
It's into our link. She should be jumping in anytime with her goofy ass self. You know she's old. We don't want to rush her. She might break a hip trying to get into this live stream.
I was wondering if she was okay, if she had fallen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
She's falling.
don't fall, Rose. Yeah.
She's having chest pains.
All senior citizens should have life alert.
Yeah, I sent her a link so she could jump in because I know she'd be interested in this one.
And if I can just develop on this thought until she gets here, I don't mean the thought, I don't mean her, I mean develop on my thought with like the whole gamma male thing. The fair sex, you know, the fair sex is often left in the spotlight in this day and age. You know, you have mainstream media projecting this, you know, where have all the good men gone? As if women are like alone by themselves. But it's really only like a select few of women that are by themselves this way because, you know, most women have a network of people that they can rely on. As do men.
Most, all of them actually do.
Yeah, every single one of them. So it's very hard to fall off the wagon as a woman, especially if you manage and maintain yourself and you do the right thing. As with men, the same thing goes for men too. But
where the hell is she at with her goofy ass self?
Yeah.
She might have broke her shoulder. She might have dislocated her shoulder trying to click the.
She dropped a pot on her foot.
Right.
She slipped on a carrot.
Right.
No one was there to pick up the carrot.
She almost died.
She almost died. You fucking twat. I think like these guys, they kind of respond to the promotion of women that are subpar, and then they become subpar as a result. But like no one is making them. They have no one to blame.
Yeah, they definitely don't.
And you know, I'm glad at least that it really only affects people who don't really seek employment of their ideas and of their thoughts, and like they like for people that try to help one another. It really only exists for people that don't want, that are like think very in those kind of it's just desperate in the way that I think about it.
They're very desperate and they act like a bunch of
poorly socialized women.
Yeah, poorly socialized men. But they try to act like they're socialized. They try to act like they have some clout, and they try to act like they basically act like women. Basically,
I didn't mean to. Yeah,
they act like they have more value than they really have for the most part. When in fact they really don't. Yeah. And they try to prop themselves up. They try to prop themselves up using everybody else around them to make them seem as cool as the people around them, or as smart as the people around them. On top of that shit that they also do, these motherfuckers will take other people's lines and quotes and shit like that and try to make it their own and try to make it seem like they're very, very smart and intelligent. Meanwhile, they're like borrowing like a Sandman line, they're borrowing a Tico trend line, they're borrowing multiple Tico trend lines, they're borrowing multiple fucking Undead Chronic lines, they're borrowing I heard one or two Hammerhand lines coming from that motherfucker, along with Line of MGTOW, and you also got a
Yeah.
couple people solo TV.
Yeah. And it's almost
A
like
lot
when
of
you see
people from
them
the
react.
Black
Yeah.
Manosphere, and it's funny how these motherfuckers always steal other people's lines and they try to make it their own and they try to make themselves sound cooler than they really are. When in fact you just stole a
Yes.
bunch of lines from
Yes.
random people basically.
Yeah.
But
And
but
you did
you're but
nothing
you,
but inflate your own ego.
yeah, with everybody else's whatever using everybody else's quotes and lines around you for the most part, which is really a
Hmm.
sad state of reality and a sad state of affairs when you can actually do that shit, which really sucks. Like I've
Yeah.
always laughed at people when you can actually steal like lines from me and make yourself sound smart.
Yeah. Right.
Then on top of that, these goofy motherfuckers want to turn around and bash some motherfuckers whose lines they're actually stealing, or quotes or points, quotes, and arguments that they're actually stealing. They'll turn around and try to say that they're stupid, they ain't this, they ain't that, but they steal their lines. But obviously they are. If you got to steal their fucking lines
Right.
and
Right. You're
arguments.
valid. Like that's the thing. It's like the attention, the exposure is just so great because you can tell what they want. It's kind of like when a woman's wearing yoga pants. You
Mm-hmm.
can you already know what she's gonna say before she says it. So there's
Yeah,
no, and then you can tell that they don't trust people around them if they're trying to like project this like false sense of camaraderie, false sense of acceptance, false sense of like, regardless of what I've done, I look this way, so you must follow me and fall in line. And
yeah. The
how
sad part
tall are
about that
you?
is when the sad part about that they use those tactics like women do because they can't they're not alpha males and they can't control what everybody else is doing around them, so they have to use bitch made tactics to do so.
Hmm.
Like they'll do shit like they'll kick people out of the live stream or they'll put people on silent for a very long time. They'll do
Right.
stupid shit like that just so they can actually keep control because they can't keep control any other way.
That's happened to me too, so I can confirm that. And it is sad because like what you need to understand when you're in those situations with a person that's exhibiting those qualities is everything about it is a lie. Think for
Yeah.
yourselves, guys.
Yeah, and
Think for yourself.
the sad part about that people like that instead of actually arguing a point with you, they'll argue a talking point, but they can't elaborate on that talking point, and they'll just keep on trying to
They're
beat
just
you with
trying
the
to
same
get you.
damn
No,
talking point.
yes. They're
So
trying
it's
to
like they're
get you to
basically
think
trying
about
to,
it in the same way that they are. They're trying to think. They're trying
it's
to
basically like
motivate
cultist
you.
mentality type shit, right? Basically. So like it'll be like
Hmm.
one of them things instead of like arguing the point, they'll repeat the point over and over again, and they can't argue the point, and
Yes.
they can't elaborate on the point in the least bit,
Uh-huh.
which
Well,
is really
they
kind of
want you.
sucky.
They want to get on the same page with you, but that's only if they see you as a perceived prey. And so they get in this like predator prey dynamic where if they
Well,
think that you're a
it's not
predator,
even that.
they'll
They
start to yell
basically
at you.
it's basically one of them things where they just basically try to convince you that they're right, basically. And it starts
Hmm.
getting to the point where like you're sitting there thinking to yourself, nigga, who you trying to convince? Yourself or me? Because it sounds like you're trying to convince yourself to try to convince me, because it sounds like your ass don't believe that shit. And the sad part about people like that, they have zero argument and they can't argue a point to save their fucking lives. They couldn't even argue themselves out of a wet paper bag if they had to.
Right. I mean, that's why they need to control. I mean, it's like I said, I'm not, when I say they, I just mean a very few,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's not meaning that I'm like projecting, but like, it's more like we're trying to talk about very specific individuals, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
not like I'm
definitely.
trying to describe an entire group of people. So I'm sorry if sometimes I say women or if sometimes I say men and that offends you. But like what I'm trying to describe is something that's really nuanced, just only for a shred of individuals, like common traits, common characteristics. And like I said, people don't really fall off the wagon like this normally. Most
Mm-hmm.
people are good people, but it's just the lack of trust in our environment that like creates the pressure for us to like doubt what somebody's saying just because we don't like how it sounds, or it's hard for us to hear, or sometimes it feels you feel pressure to to defend yourself. And I think it is something that's abnormal. So I realize that there's a taboo around it, which is why I try to focus on it the way that I do, because I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm trying to actually learn something. And I know it can be like, oh, he's young, he doesn't know, he has no responsibility. But trust me, if you see me in real life, that's I care about only like a few things. And out of those few things, if you're not falling to one of those things, then I don't really care about you or what you have to say at all. I'm not looking
Yeah,
for
true.
any sort of approval from you at all. And it's sad that like in some places like this, the way that this is sold, people actually buy it,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets people into the mess that they're in, basically. You know.
Very true. And the sad part about that is a lot of the people don't realize that they're getting into the mess and they think they're not. And the sad part about that is a lot of the people think they're not gamma males when in fact they are gamma males.
Because they're chameleons, and they sneak into different sects of society because they're like hyper rationalized to conformity. It's I described it once in one of my videos way back, called the power up, or I think it's called the game or the boss battle, where I'm describing
Mm-hmm.
the way that some of these radical female tactics try to see into your mind, almost like how a Psycho Mantis in the game Metal Gear Solid tries to seep into your memory card and see what kind of games you're playing, and then tries to manipulate you in order to get you to fold under the pressure. And like I think that is something that takes so much grinding to be able to fully grasp and fully understand that somebody that has a lot of resources might think that they can buy their way to that level of understanding. And I mean, I'm here to say, not from experience, but you'll never get the satisfaction of understanding, people and stuff by buying a course in order to learn how to do it. Unless it's to learn another language or to learn or in a classroom setting, you shouldn't be paying for this kind of information. You should be going out and getting it yourself because you want it that badly. And like you need to leave your comfort zone and do things like that. It's not something that you can necessarily purchase.
Yeah, true story. And it's sad.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I mean,
the sad
uh,
part about that is these people don't really have a backbone or a spine to remotely enforce any damn thing. So they use every single construct around them to have a resemblance of power to do so, basically, because they
uh,
can't do it any other way besides the things that are set up they need a false sense of security or a false sense of power for the most part.
in this climate, I call them the germaphobe hoarders.
Well, yeah,
They're the
there's
germaphobe
those
hoarders.
guys, but
Yeah.
then you have like a lot of the ones that are actually in the manosphere
Mm-hmm.
who do and say stupid shit and steal lines from everybody else under the sun and try to make it their own, like I said, and then they wonder why people they're catching flack or they try to say stupid shit.
Right. Right. I mean, they never once put the blame on themselves, and then it kind of is such a desperate slog to have to defend yourself against no one because you're all alone. And that's the thing that I never get to really understand, or that boggles me, is that if you want to be accepted, then why don't you start from an easier spot than trying to get someone who, say, has thousands of subscribers or tens of thousands of subscribers to agree with you, because what they're doing has already been worked on. Like it's a business arrangement. And then over the time, they've developed subscribers, right? So Why would you try to get somebody like that to validate you when in reality you should start that from that early point, just figuring out what you actually enjoy doing and let that mold your channel.
True.
Because when you start to get into spats with YouTubers online, and then it drives you into like this drama alert thing, or like this I need to basically roast somebody. It creates like the most terrible environment for actually helping men out of certain like desperate or mentally pressured, emotionally pressured situations, and it's just not healthy. It would lead a person down a bad path essentially because they care so much about validation, and you're gonna make that person feel better about themselves by validating them, only to stab them in the back in the end.
True, very true.
Yeah, and I mean, it's sad that people don't, I mean, understand this, but again, you got to realize that they're they're a small portion of the population for a reason because most
Oh,
people don't think
time.
this way.
This cunt.
Excuse me. Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight?
You should have heard the mess we were talking about here earlier.
Take it to fucking. I'm gonna slap you in, Bill.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He's still not now, dude. He's okay, but he's gonna regret that.
Still gonna regret that. You okay?
Yeah, Rick's gonna drink right now, which means that she's not gonna hold back. Speaking of which, I need more fucking water because, like, for all the soy.
We're talking about gamma males.
Yeah.
We'll continue the conversation that you and Yam were having in your server.
Oh yes, which is why I need more water. Because I can't deal with like all that gamma talk without water.
Well,
okay, guys.
The thing that Rose told me, the thing that like stood out to me was she just said failure. The way she said that people like these certain people are just failures.
Well, they definitely are.
It was so savage. It was so savage.
Yeah, and people are, and they don't realize that they're failures, and they want to skate on like they're not failures, or they're really doing something with their lives, but they're really not.
True.
Especially when you're like a failure to launch, basically. Because I always looked at it like this. It's one of those things where it's like I've always said, if you need an external stimuli to actually basically change you, or you need like, you know, you need to always have somebody's dick in your mouth so you can remotely feel like you're relevant. Then you're pretty much not relevant. You might as well just go sit back down in a little boy section for the most part.
With insert dictionary, because that's what he is, by the way, guys. No. I'm not even exaggerating at this point, because he's an incel, right? That's infiltrated the MGTOW YouTube community because he is an incel that has to buy prostitutes to fuck him. And then, right, this is the biggest laugh of them all, that he targets, right, vulnerable men that have low self-esteem, right, men that could potentially, right, if they're given the right device, could get laid with women, right, without paying nothing. Right? If they went to a fucking, and this is the idea, right? If they went to men like, I don't know, modern life dating, right? They wouldn't have to pay for it because like he could probably like go to like the free fucking cancer and shit, right? And he could point out, okay, I see you're doing this wrong, and you're doing that wrong, and this wrong, and you need to change these things if you want to get laid. Okay.
Hell, all they got to do is send me an email, and I'll pretty much teach them how to get laid.
Instead, it's like, give me this, give me X dollars, and we'll go to this place.
You don't even need no damn boot camp. All you got to do is send me a damn email, and it's pretty much a wrap from there.
You know what?
The idea is, like, I bet all the men are telling him exactly the same thing. Like, you need to get a job, right? If you don't have a job already, right? And it's not because to buy more whores, okay, or more fucking prostitutes. so you have fucking self-worth within yourself, right? And not living off your fucking mother, and fucking take pride within yourself, and fucking start a life for yourself. Because who the fuck wants to live with their fucking parents at fucking 30? Like, no. And even if you're like at that age, like, you should aim for a goal or something within your life, something that you want, and you should aim for it. Like,
true.
Like, not fucking listen to some fucking dickhead that goes, "Hey, if you're not this height or not, you don't match this. Too late. Yes, it's over for you." Yeah, fuck off, fucking bitch brain cunt.
You know what? Yeah, Tico, Rose gets too much enjoyment out of this.
Yeah, I know she does. That's why I invited her.
Tell us the sad part about this. What is the sad part about this?
We do not consent to your fucking bitch ass thing, okay? All you do is bring men down. That's all you do. Yeah. You fucking twat. And guess what? If you're watching this, look forward to all the streams I'm going to do on you specifically, dickhead. Look forward to 20 videos on you, you fucking twat. Guess what?
And this is why I told you she's the female version of Tico Trend. Y'all ain't believe my ass. This is why. Did you hear about that?
How was your relationship with your father?
You don't understand, right? You don't understand. Like, he was fucking right. This little fucking bitch was chatting so much shit, right? And was basically this dipping game, right? He's trying to improve his life, and this fucking incel dictionary is trying to drag him back down, right? Basically into his gangbang community. That's what I'm going to call it, the gangbang community, right?
The Gamma Man, Gamma Band, or the Gamma Man, the community.
No, the gangbang community, because
Gamma Bang. It's kind of like a mukbang, but you're not eating anything. You're eating a lot of shit because everybody's full of shit.
Why? Because apparently no woman wants to fuck you. Why? Because you're acting like a bunch of fucking women. Okay?
True.
And
Very
that's
true.
the problem with the black pill community. Like, you act like women. That's why women don't want to fuck you. If they wanted women, okay, they'd be fucking lesbian.
Yeah, true story. And the sad part about that is, like, a lot, and I always say that about the black pill community. They can all get laid if they really tried. They can all get laid if they have better social skills, because a lot of them lack social skills. And, like, even though they're talking to people on a video, they seem like they got good social skills to me. Yeah, that's because they're on a fucking video. Put one of them motherfuckers out there on the street and have them actually talk to some fucking baddie. They'll bitch up like you know.
But the irony is, right, like, because, like, one of them has come into my circle, into my community, right? He randomly joined my server on my panel, joined my stream, right? Before he went to a bigger channel, right? Known as Modern Life Dating, right? They gave him good advice and probably given him, like, a lot of advice on things that he's been failing at. He needs to know game. He needs to know a lot of things, but game is a solid point because, oh god, did you actually see that fucking dickhead? It's in there, right? And fucking, what's the name of the other bitch, by the way? What was it? Coach Bitch Pill. Oh god, yeah, that's what that was. That literally what it was, wasn't it? It was Coach Bitch Pill. Because you're not black pill, you're bitch pill. Do you know why? Because you think like a bitch. Yes, right.
And you know what?
And I am a bitch.
Rose, you do Incel Dictionary so much better than he does himself.
I know, right? It should be my full-time job.
You're like 2.5. You're like 2.5.
Like, I can impersonate him so good. I bet if I upset him. Guess what, dickhead?
If I tried to do it, it would be like, no, how tall are you? How tall are you? It'd be like,
if you
they try to tell me, I said no.
Okay, it's over for you. It's over for you, okay? Okay. Okay.
Oh, good lord.
And I'm not even 6 foot.
No, I made the app, and they told me, you gotta pay for it. I said no. Cowards. This is science. What's your ethnicity? What kind of hair do you have? You don't have hair? It's over, man. It's over. It's over.
Y'all are a trip. Y'all are cutting up today. Y'all are a trip.
So many soundbites going to be here today. It's not even funny. And like, by the way, because this is what you sound like, by the way. Just so you know, it's a dictionary. This is what you're going to be known for now, okay?
And the sad part about that is I have 4 videos on my channel that basically tell you how to keep a woman.
Oh god, that is bad.
Yeah, 4 videos.
I advocate against pump and dump too on my channel.
Because I'm not for pump and dump for the fact that there's a lot of STDs floating around, even with condoms. Everybody's talking about wear condoms. Okay, I've seen many motherfuckers with condoms that got a lot of fucking STDs. Hell, I know a motherfucker who wore a condom and got 3 STDs at the same fucking time. So condoms ain't shit in this day and age. They're only 70-something% effective, if that anymore.
Yeah.
So either she's getting pregnant or you're catching a disease. Either way, in this day and age.
Does that depend though? Like, A, he puts it on properly. 2, they haven't used oil, or she's already wet. Because those are very.
But isn't that the intent?
Well, no, because the sad part about condoms break easily now. Back in the day, condoms used to be very durable. Now they're very, very easy to break. Now, hell, if you pull it out if you rip open a pack, you could break a condom. That's how flimsy they are anymore. They went from like 90. They went from like 98%.
To break it to you, but you probably retain a lot to open it because she's probably not going to be able to break a condom. And this is going to be sexist because like Rose is trying to suggest that women are not strong enough to break a condom.
She could break it. She could break it easily. They're really that weak.
Okay, McTell, I'm gonna have to ask you to delete that message because I don't need YouTube coming down on me for no damn reason. So I'm gonna have to ask you to delete that message.
They're not going to though. They're not going to though. But they're probably going. YouTube's probably going to delete it for you.
No, they left it up. They didn't. They left it up. They're not going to delete it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. No one's gonna care. To be honest.
No, hold on. YouTube didn't let that one ride. Apparently, that bypassed YouTube and went straight to StreamYards basically.
So YouTube blocks that.
Yeah, YouTube blocked that one already. So never mind on that one, Scott. I mean, that's just Scott. Damn, never mind on that. YouTube already blocked it.
Spaghetti-O.
Yeah, I think it's too late for that, guys. I think it's too late. Insert dictionary. Guess what? Your so-called private life is going to be not so private anymore.
Well, and that's sad.
No, not really, because
for some people it's sad.
No, it's not. No,
not for me. Not
when it comes to him, because this dickhead, right? He's leaking right now, right? And this is what's so funny about this bullshit. He's leaking emails, right, of a specific person, right? Okay, he fucked a 15-year-old prostitute, right? In Portugal. Guess what the age of consent is in Portugal? Do you know? 14.
No.
Yeah, it's 14.
Okay. So,
the fact that he fucked a 15-year-old prostitute, okay, yes, it's not moral, but it's legal. So, you can go fuck yourself, and as far as I'm concerned, dickhead, go and jump off a fucking cliff, because, yeah, Rose is not only on it, but guess what? She's going to be the first on it when you're trying to fucking call him a fucking paedophile, because by law, not only is he not a paedophile, but he's covered by the law. So you can suck that fucking story on your fucking gay ass fucking toy boy, but I bet you already have, right?
And you better learn how to make sandwiches.
Dickhead. Yeah, I really hope you know how to make sandwiches. Because
you might want to go to Rose's channel to learn how to make sandwiches too, by the way.
Yeah, you might want to
Oh my god, I triggered so many men with that. So, yeah, Betty was like, dude, you have no humor. I have humor, Rez! Yeah, you really don't, because you failed to understand, right?
It was a joke.
Exactly. I was mocking, not like basically, I was taking the piss, right, out of basically women's skills as well as men's demands at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole point of the video. Now, if you can't understand that, dickhead, then actually it's a lie. I'm not sorry at all. I just think you are a simpleton and you should probably jump off a cliff. But there you go. YouTube doesn't know how to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because you know why? Because I'm an absolute arsehole.
Even the internal sadist does not have as much sadism as this person right here to my right on the pedestal.
Yeah, I do.
Like I'm
more sadist than she is because I'm actually enjoying everything she's actually saying.
Yeah, me too. I am too. But I still get triggered when she talks sometimes because the way that she calls him dickhead, she calls me dickhead too.
Or she calls me a twat all the damn time.
She calls me a twat, so then when she calls somebody else a twat, I kind of like get tense up sometimes. Like, she talking about me?
I'm kind of like a load of guys, and they're talking to me like, she called me a twat. There's a whole group of men. Like,
what she called me? You gonna let her call you a twat?
Twat shaming.
I'll go. You know what? That's not what she was saying last night. Wasn't the twat last night. That's always what I say to her ass.
Like. A lot of guys, they're just not as well endowed as me, you know.
Dude,
so, because I'm well endowed, I can film these adult films, you know.
Show me the clip.
How tall are you?
How tall are you? 5'9", you fucking short cunt.
Y'all are a trip. I'm short as hell.
Y'all are a trip.
Except your hobbitness.
You know the thing I love about the whole entire height thing?
I don't know.
Besides the fact that I'm actually over 6 foot and I love it, only anywhere between 9 to 12% of the population is over 6 foot.
Yeah, that's a shortcoming. Because guess what? I'm going to kick you the shin, and then you'll be like, I'm not 6 foot anymore.
I can't even see my shins. I'm so high up. I'm short-sighted. It's all a blur down there.
I'm short-sighted. Listen to you. Y'all are a trip.
It's great being.
We push you being short. You'd be like, "Fuck you guys."
But
also, this bird sounds like Alice in Wonderland. I think he's talking about Rose.
Yeah, he does.
She does sound like Alice.
That's my D. I don't even have a D, but guess what? I probably could come up with a solution for you. You're not gonna like it though. It's gonna be plastic. Plastic.
Oh, good lord, you're a mess, child.
Yeah, she was threatening a certain someone with that same thing, or just moments earlier.
Mm-hmm. She's always threatening somebody. She's always threatening some damn body.
Yeah.
She's always threatening somebody with that.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna threaten us when as soon as this is over.
Yeah, but like, yeah, can you fill in for me? Because one, I don't have a dick. Could you fill in for me? I'll pay you.
Can you fill in for me? Wow, really?
Do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Right? Whoa, no, I won't do that.
You'd be like,
good lord.
I don't know what to say to that. Runs away. I'm like, see how me? Like, you would say yes, you fucking whore.
And, you know, I've actually heard in the works. I think the Three Amigos have a diss tape going, working on this on somebody in the manosphere.
Do they?
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, I think that to get the three combined powers could probably put something together.
I wouldn't be shocked with their asses.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm gonna have a cameo on a couple of them songs.
Yeah. Oh my god, if it was like a full mixtape, oh my god, that would be amazing.
That'd be so good. Yeah. Oh my goodness!
I do not sound like Adam. Actually, what does she even sound like? I'm curious now. I'm like, this is
By the way,
very upset.
shout out to Lord Sos 91 and No Sweetheart. You guys had some good videos today.
Yeah, y'all definitely had some good videos today. I was definitely.
Okay.
And your videos were top notch.
I want to.
And I was picking on True Sherm's. I was picking on True Sherm's Jedi video game. Jedi video that he put out. Yeah.
Yeah, I put out a video about that game. That game's fun. It's like
I was picking on him. I said, you ever see the channel called Cinema Sins?
Yeah.
So I go to him as I'm watching the video as it comes on. I'm going 60 seconds of logos. I'm gonna have to give you 1.5 cents. Ding! He busted out laughing. He goes sins, yeah. I go, you ever see the channel Cinema Sins? He goes, yeah. Well, this is Tico Trend's video game sins. 16 seconds of logo. 60 seconds of logo. I said, what? That was funny as hell.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was picking on him.
It was it's fun, but it is like I think EA makes it, so it has basically that qualifiers.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous amount of it had a ridiculous amount of logos. I even counted. I didn't even count the fucking Xbox logo. I skipped right past that logo and went straight to the game logos, and it was like 60 seconds of logos.
Well, it takes so much licensing to make certain things nowadays. Like it forces people to be like less creative. And that's why we have.
Why does it take so? Now. The sad part about it, you would think it would just be LucasArts and it'd be a wrap, though.
Yeah, they could have made a game, but I mean, I guess they didn't. Where'd the money go that you made from all of the, from making all those movies? Like, she could have gone into something that would have been more future-proof, like a video game or something. But it made to paying on the actors.
Yeah, and the sad part about that is not like they paid anybody anything because they were all garbage any damn way. But yeah, we'll run with this, okay?
True.
They were all garbage actors any damn way. Not like you really had to pay anybody any damn thing.
Yeah.
And Rose fell out. You're fine. And
yeah, but you're right. Actually, if you look at it, none of the actors have actually been rewarded for that much, like for playing those roles. That's because the roles don't really mean anything anymore. And the whole philosophy of going to that movie is so hollowed out with product placement and Mattel toy advertisements and everything.
And it's not like you're selling any damn toys because all the actors were pretty much garbage any damn way, and they got rid of all the main ones, and the one died. So it's like one of the things where like they do buy anything, they'll just buy Luke, Leia, and maybe Han Solo, and maybe Chewie.
Yeah. They would, and then because then no one can make anything about anything that's been licensed without getting permission from them. So
the sad part about that, though, you would think LucasArts, you would think they'd be able to make all that shit basically without needing Raven and what's the other one that I've seen? Some visual or some shit like that. And there's some other thing like, why do you need that many logos though? That's just fucking ridiculous anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's because everything. Anytime a big game gets put out, that company gets basically like divided up, like its departments get divided up and then put into like a new category because it's like now they're AAA game, so then they have to have all this marketing behind it and like other stuff. So then they need more money for it. So then they push it agenda even harder, and it just creates like a environment where there's no creativity at all. There really is no creativity. That being said, I do like the game. It's a good game.
I mean, it's a good game after you get through all the fucking logos, though. But
logos and the loading screens.
And the loading screens and the logos and all that shit. Like,
sit in front of the loading screen that's so long. That's freaking ridiculous. Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous and a half.
Yeah, and then now they're thinking about coming out with a movie about that game.
Really?
It's like everything is just recycled garbage.
They're going to destroy it any damn way.
It's like sucking on. It's like sucking on the actual mythos of Star Wars through a paper straw. That's all soggy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm barely getting.
They're trying to get every last drop out of it and shit like that. They're probably going to fuck it up anyway. Luke Skywalker will probably be like some homogenous, transgender, fucking alien female Wookiee slash fucking Ewok slash Jar Jar Binks looking motherfucker or something like that.
You're really gonna get Joaquin Phoenix to play that role too, right?
Really, they're gonna get Joaquin Phoenix to play that role.
No,
it's gonna be Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, probably. But it's gonna be like Luka Skywalker because it's trans.
Luka Skywalker. Yeah, I know, right? They're gonna fuck that shit up badly, royally.
Oh, I'm just
all of a sudden we're gonna find out that Chewie's really Chewa.
No, Chewbacca. He was trans the whole time.
Right. He's a female. He's a female presenting as he's a male presenting as female, basically with the
And it's like him coming out, and then it's like to his parents. His parents are like. And then
right.
And then subtitles.
Right.
Like that's why he hangs out with Han Solo so much.
Right. Han Solo's gonna come out as a female too. Shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna make Lando Calrissian gay. They are. Then you're gonna have
Solo.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Linda Calrissian.
Linda Calrissian, right? There's Hans is going to be Hannah Solo. Like, they're going to fuck everything up. Like, somehow, some way, they found some gender swapping thing in space. Like, they really needed a gender swap any damn way. And all the characters. That's going to be the backstory on how they all became females and shit like that. Apparently, they're going to. And they're going to bring back midichlorians. They're going to say females have more midichlorians than the men do. So therefore, now this is why they swap genders so they can have more midichlorians and shit.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Right.
And why not? Why? And in the First Order Galactic Empire, shaving has been banned from all sectors. You can no longer shave your armpits if you are a woman.
Then the sad part about that, all the Jedi are going to be women, and all the bad guys are going to be white men. Watch, bet you any money.
No, it already is that way, Tico, which is why it's going to go the opposite way, and then everyone's going to be acting like it's okay. Kind of like Spike Lee and Do the Right Thing, where the traveling minstrel is like the highlight of the entire the TV and radio during the time. Because it's just so outrageously absurd that it's the only thing people will watch because they're fed up with all the other paradigms and they're down with this sickness. And that's sad. That's the way that the things move in society, and it's like there should be
that was a nice to start reference. Sickness.
I know.
I'm gonna get down with the sickness.
I don't really listen to that.
To give it to me.
Shout out. Unky. He has the full like VHS rack of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT.
Who, Oki? Who?
Yo, what's up, Oki?
Oki, make that. Who has the full VHS? Dragon Ball Z. Your uncle. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Does he even own a VCR?
I don't know if he does anymore, but he still has everything. Like
that's crazy.
But we have a lot of like eclectic like people or collectors in my family, but it's different than being like a hoarder of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like
or other shit that you really don't need. The sad part about that is those VHSs are probably going to be worth more money later down the line than toilet paper is.
Yeah. A way I want to work one of No Sweethearts comments into that is like he said like we're talking about nurses the other day or nurses on one of the videos. He was like, nurses are the biggest thoughts or whatever, and it's actually true. Like when he says that,
Not necessarily. It depends on the nurse and it depends on the modus. Because I have a family full of nurses. If you don't know that, all my sisters are nurses, and my grandmother was a nurse. Her sisters are nurses. Only one of my sisters that wasn't a nurse is my oldest sister, and she's actually a physical therapist and a nutritionist, and she's a personal trainer also.
A lot of skills,
and she's also a personal trainer. So it's one of those things where like she multitasks, and she actually owns a gym in Costa Rica that we all go to. Wow. It's a female gym, but I show up. Oh yeah, so I go there whenever all the females aren't there, or I'll go there just so I can follow the rules, or I'll go there to fix shit. That way she ain't got to call somebody else to fix shit and have it closed down, basically. Right. So all the women can go to the gym, basically. So she owns a female gym, which is really, really nice. My grandmother works out at that gym too.
You ever fix anything like really crazy or no?
No, mainly just the machines. Mainly just the machines, lighting.
I would picture a gym like that, like to be pretty clean and like. Pretty,
it's clean. It's ridiculously clean. She has cleaning ladies like literally clean the damn thing. Like they'll literally go and like clean all the damn treadmills. They'll clean all the damn bikes. They'll clean all the damn, they'll clean every damn thing. They'll clean the weights too and shit. The dumbbells, everything. They clean every damn thing in that gym. The mats, the walls, hell, I seen one on a fucking high ass ladder cleaning the ceiling and shit the other day. It's like, so like, yeah, it's just they always cleaning at that gym. That gym's probably cleaner than a fucking what's it called, a surgeon, OR room. I bet it's probably cleaner than the operating room for the most part. But my sister's a trip. I love her dearly.
Well, my family used to clean a lot too. They had a cleaning business back in the day. But yeah,
those are the best. Shoot.
Those are the best, right? I mean,
those are the best shit.
If you have a trade or something, it's like a freaking good skill to have.
Shit, I'm about to start a cleaning business. I'm about to hire a lot of people to do the cleaning though. I ain't gonna clean none.
Like, this is about cleaning, guys. You guys, I really care about cleaning, and it's like one of my passions is just making sure that everything is as clean as possible.
Right.
All right. Hey. What's that, Pablo? Pablo, can you go clean that stuff over there?
Right? Can you clean this wall behind me, Pablo?
No self-awareness. This person's off
right. Right? No self-awareness whatsoever. Right? Just like a leftist, no self-awareness whatsoever.
Yes. Correct.
Like, didn't he just say he likes cleaning, but he got me cleaning this shit? Right?
Hey, man, you need to start your businesses. You need to get focused on other people, not yourself. Stop focusing on yourself so much.
Right?
It's over. And
right.
What part of the really sad thing is now that it all makes sense to me, I just picture people in Germany during the 1900s having this problem where it's they're so depressed, they have such this deep feeling of nihilism, and it relates back to that so well. It resonates with that way of thinking now, and it's just where have we come? Where have we come from to get this far?
Yeah, true, and it's sad. It's very sad. And sometimes I often wonder about people when they do shit, and they. It's just really, dude. That's what you're doing now. That's what we're doing now. Really, this is what we're doing now. I just look at them and shake my head okay.
Yeah.
Because people just some of the stuff that people do is just stupid as hell, and it just blows my mind. I can't believe you lived this long. Legit. Who saved your ass this long?
Who saved you? That's what you should be saying. Yeah. Instead of who hurt you, who saved you?
Who saved you? Or who raised you? Because I can't stand some of these people these days because they make no damn sense to me.
No. Who saved you?
I don't understand how you're still alive as a human being.
Me neither.
Half these people, I'll just be looking at them, shaking my head, dude, how are you still alive? Were you sheltered as a kid? Were you overprotected and coddled as a kid? Because obviously that's the only way you could be alive. Because your mom had to step in multiple times to save your ass. Because I can't see your ass doing anything without your parents or without holding your parents' hand or without your mommy dropping you off, basically.
But they're hyper capable now. They start businesses or they work at a fancy hotel or a fancy place, and then all of a sudden the lockdown happens, or whatever. Or it doesn't even have to do with anything. It's just experiencing some sort of failure, and then at that failure, basically reverberates or reverbs onto them and shakes them to that very core. And it's it promotes just a lot of unproductive dialogue. And that's the one thing I noticed the most with the phenomena. It's always having to have voices and always having to be talking out things and never really being okay with who you are inside and having just peace and stillness and let's just relax. And I know I've said it earlier, when people tell people to relax in a conversation, that does bother me. But at the same time, you have some people walking around here thinking that it's okay to talk over somebody when they're trying to finish their point, or it's okay to mute somebody in order to finish their point, or in order to gain favor over the people in the discussion, to prevent that person from talking from expressing themselves and reframing it for everybody. No one needs you to help me reframe something to see it the way you see it. And it happens too in the questioning. It's do you feel as depressed as I feel? Do you feel as nihilistic as I feel? Yes. And I then do this. And it's kind of the shit testing that women do sometimes, but it's not quite that at the same time. Because sometimes women will shit test you appropriately. A shout out to Austria Dick, who's not a smaller, who's a less known YouTube channel. Shout out to him.
Nice.
For the most part. Yeah. Yeah, because he would be able to explain this too. They some women will shit test you and it would be good, but the whole black pill thing is just they don't think about how they could have improved or how they could have done better or how they could have not run into that situation, and then they expect somebody to validate them in that feeling, and then if they don't, they react very aggressively. And
speaking of which, shout outs to Mad Bus Driver for actually showing a picture of me and the Cartel Princess in your one video when he was showing black men who are in successful relationships video. I don't think that was the actual title, but I forget the name of the actual video, but my picture was in there with the Cartel Princess. So if y'all want to see what the Cartel Princess looked like, go check out Mad Bus Driver.
And I think it's the perfection and stuff that is sought after is because they don't really have a good relationship with themselves, and they weren't allowed to be alone. But now they are alone. See, when we talk about people who are depressed, they need to find other people and not be alone because they feel alone. But when somebody is has people that care about them, but then they just say that they don't want to engage, that is something that cannot be ignored, and that person needs to be in an environment that's suitable for them, where people validate them. And when that doesn't happen, they get into a place where they feel very nihilistic and they feel very depressed, and they feel where Rose said, they feel every bit of sadness down to their core. Yeah. And it's not a good place for anyone to be, which is why we need to make sure that we find them and help them. We can't shut them out of a room.
Yeah, we got to actually help them or attempt to help them, even if we don't like them, or even if we're being a dick, or even if we're being an asshole. we gotta have the patience and steadfastness to actually be
Yeah,
able to like
and
withstand
Double
all
I
the.
would back me up if I was here too. If he was, even if he was in the chat or the thing, but not saying anything, he would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, he would definitely back that up 100% because it's all about
Mm-hmm.
helping men, no matter what state they're in. Sometimes you gotta,
Because he
no
helped
matter
me.
how many insults they're
He's helped
lobbing
other
at you,
people.
no matter
Yeah.
how much stupid shit they're saying to you, you always gotta have the patience to be able to like wait them out, basically, to get your point across to them for the most part, because you're going to hear a lot of insults from a lot of people. That's just resistance. That's all it is. You can't
That's
just shut
all it
them out.
is.
There's just resistance, and like it's basically it'd be no different than a security system. Basically, that's basically all it is. It's their security system responding from all the teaching and all the indoctrination that they've gotten growing up. It's your natural response to basically to um to deny you or
Yeah.
to try to
Mm-hmm.
not believe what you're trying to
Which
tell them for the most part, or not to try not to take on information because our information hurts too damn bad for them to take it on. So they're going to hurl
yeah.
insults at you. They're going to call you this. They're going to do that. They're going to do all this shit. But you got to have the patience to wait them out, basically,
Let me
to drop
try to
some
take
red
a
pills to
crack
them.
at this. When you tell people in your videos that MGTOW is growing as a content creator, you want to ensure them that there's like, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here for you guys. But when you sort of say project out onto society that like they don't understand the red pill, or they don't understand me, or they don't understand that I'm MGTOW, or like I'm really edgy, then I think what happens is like you start to think that more people know about this than really do this kind of information, like the
Mm-hmm.
esoteric stuff. And then like I think that's where problems arise, because you think that everybody is going to understand something on the same wavelength as you, but that's not how people work. Like we have a background, we have history, we have like relationships that we've actually been in where we were accepted and we didn't have to pay money to people in order to get something. And I'm not putting that down at all. Like it's just when you try to gaslight somebody about something so petty, you exhibit qualities of a woman, but you don't even do it as good as a woman could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the frustrating thing about it. And it's the reason why I can sit here as a young person and tell somebody who's much older than me that, because I understand how certain people act, and they're not going to be buying your BS. Even if you can get me to nod my head, I'm going to do it out of, I'm going to agree with you just because I need to know more about what your belief system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what separates me from, you know, somebody who is a like the minority in that that's what normal people, they will listen to another person describe something before they disagree with it.
Mm-hmm. It's very true.
And they won't try to interrupt
And the sad part about that is what a
because
lot
they
of
have
people don't
nothing to
realize.
hide. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
true. The sad part about that is there's a lot of people who actually there's a very small group of people who actually listen to people, and there's a large group of people who actually pretend like they're listening or act like they're listening, and it's like they're basically trying to jump in and cancel out somebody basically, and like it's kind of the running joke. Are you
It's
finished?
over for me. It's over for me. Or
Are
it's
you
over for you.
finished? Are you finished though? There's just people like that do that shit basically. When they do that, they're not listening. They just basically want to
Right,
just
right,
run
right,
off at the
right.
mouth basically, or they'll
Hmm.
like move their hands, or they'll try to, you know, or they'll basically they're not listening basically. And this is what I mean when I say never present your argument to somebody who's not listening, or not somebody who's not willing to receive it, because it's just a pointless argument. And the more you talk
Hmm.
about it, the more you try to present it, the more you devalue your argument for the most part
Well,
to somebody who's
okay,
not
and
willing to listen.
that's so that is like it's not very logical, but there is a logical portion of that doesn't really work, and the part of it that does work is realizing somebody doesn't want to hear it. That's okay. Let them cry a little bit out. Let them vent a little bit, because maybe, that's only applies to men. But sometimes if you're talking to a woman, say for example, and they need to vent something out, you let the vent, but you don't try to argue against them venting. You ignore the petty stuff that they're talking about, and you say, "Are you finished?" Or you say something like,
well, no, the sad part about that is like it's logical across the board, because even if you're going to argue a point with a feminist, it's the same damn thing. They're not trying to hear your point. They just want to be right, or they want you to be right with them for the most part. So they want you to be right on the same path, or the same path they are. They don't care about facts. They don't care about all that shit. It's all about their feelings. Because at the end of the day, facts don't matter when you're actually going to HR because somebody felt like you harassed them. Facts don't matter in HR. So, and this is the world that we live in, when people could do stupid shit like this, and accuse people of stupid shit and get away with it because they're so privileged. But meanwhile, this is the same group of people that claim that they're disenfranchised, or they're the ones that are the victims and shit like that, when they're running around victimizing everybody else under the sun.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's true, and it's all in the way that they behave, and like view themselves, and view the image of themselves. Like they see no imperfections, which is like ironic, because they're
never
trying
wrong,
to
and they're
avoid
always
the time
right,
with
basically.
themselves. They're trying to avoid that personal view of themselves, and they don't really like take the time to look at that person in the mirror.
Yeah, the sad part about that is they don't really see themselves doing anything wrong, and everything they can justify anything they do is right, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, anything you do is wrong, but anything they do is right. It's kind of like the white lady that was walking her dog and that tried to call the police on a black man and say he was threatening her life and her dog's life. Meanwhile, she was breaking the law, and she didn't feel it. There's signs all over the place saying you can't take your dog off a leash. He videotaped her taking her dog off the leash.
Why are you being so mean to me, though?
Yeah, she threatened to call the cops on him. She even told the cops that he's threatening her life and he's threatening to kill her, and he's threatening her dog and her life, basically. She's very, very scared. After she done told him, well, in fact, I'm going to call the cops and tell them that you're threatening me. And she even said, it's an African American man in Central Park threatening my life and threatening my dog's life. Oh yeah, she said that shit out loud. And the sad part about that shit is that video went viral and she got canceled. So she no longer has a job anymore. She got fired from her job. Yeah, she got fired from her job, and now she's trying to say, I don't want everybody to think I'm being racist. Well, you were being racist. I'm sorry.
Hey, I bet you if she started a YouTube channel, you probably watch it though, right?
No, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch that shit. I wouldn't support that bitch in a heartbeat. Shit. There's other people I'd rather watch than watch that hoe.
Really? You wouldn't even skim it? You wouldn't even take one look at it?
Nope.
I guess you're right there, yeah. It just doesn't breed well, and like what I realize is
I'd rather watch Nazi propaganda for 24 hours than watch that bitch for 5 minutes.
Have you ever watched Nazi propaganda?
I've only watched it for like 20 minutes, and that's all the time that I had to watch it. But I'd rather watch that for 24 hours straight than watch that heifer doing any type of video. Hell.
So they wouldn't. You'd have like Nazi propaganda would have more views than that thing right there.
Yeah, from my household it would.
Wow. But now that you mention it, it's kind of like certain content out there is like that. Kind of like it's telling you that there's a great evil in the world and you have to stop it. It just I don't know. I just get flashbacks because I watched 1917, and so I just think it was like I think I'm gonna have to like be sprinting. Just picture myself just sprinting, never stop sprinting, try to get the message across the battlefield. Like it's that desperate. It's that desperate nowadays. Like, and people are just so desperate for attention, you know. And like with the yoga pants, like I see it now. Everyone's seeing them, and it's just I don't even know how to proceed with the discussion, because it's like we can only dissect, nihilism for so long before it just gets really, really, really sad.
Yeah.
That's what I think about when I see like a woman with yoga pants kind of like trying to approach me, and I think that when it comes to gamma males, they see it a completely different way. Like they're just socially awkward, and they see women as like to Google and ogle at, and they don't actually like want to talk to that person, have a conversation with that person. They're just thinking about, ooh, I could have sex with her potentially,
True story.
And then, yeah, and then they like think about it. They overthink, and it's just not good. And I'm not trying to make fun of anybody personally that I see. Like I'm just describing something that only happens to a very select majority of people. And like for those people, that's why I still advocate the black pill, because I still believe in it, even though a lot of people don't choose not to believe in it, but they pretend like they are it, and it's just like it's sad to see that
Yeah,
same
it's
thing.
very
Like,
sad.
don't you like want there to be more past the red pill and understanding like different things that have happened and how you've been lied to? Like, what isn't there more to the discussion than that? And like the reason why I feel like things get slowed down is because you have so many people just trying to maintain power over the conversation and steer the conversation further to the left, further and further to the left. So it's like, oh, you hate women, or who do you hate? Do you hate men? It's like, I don't hate anybody. I never have hated anyone. I don't hate men or women. And it's like, I just think that the way that a lot of these organizations work is they basically put fear into you by getting you to think about how how shitty their life might be. So it's like they're like, look how shitty my life is. Isn't that life shitty? And if you say no, I actually care about myself, they're like, who hurt you? Who saved you?
Mm-hmm.
And they try to make you feel like absolute doo doo about yourself, so that maybe if you don't have a backbone, you'll slip into their conformist march, like you'll just like fall in line.
Yeah, that's just how it works.
And it's I think I call, like, if you were a pretty boy at one point raised by a single mother, I think that you kind of almost are like the Hitler Youth. Like you
Nah, you're
have the
pretty much a fuck
potential.
boy at that point. If you were raised by a single mother and you're a pretty boy, you're a fuck boy.
Well, isn't that what they were in the in the I know that that probably didn't the term probably didn't exist back then, but wouldn't they be considered a fuck boy if you were when you like those kind of people when they grow up?
Well, they're pretty
Because like
much. Well,
my theory is like the prettier that uh, uh, poorly socialized girl knows that she is, the earlier that a girl knows she's like pretty, the more less she is actually to think and grow like emotionally, because she knows she can just get anything just with her looks alone. And like I hear a lot of these people out here like who are on the gamma male scale, they use that. They say like, well, I'm good looking enough to get the X, and so I shouldn't have to try to grow emotionally in order to live the best life that I can. So it's like why they still have the defeatist mentality. Would you agree with that or no? Is that not
yeah,
really?
yeah, they do have a
But
defeatist mentality. I mean, women who do that, they basically don't grow mentally because
well, it's
they
not their
use their
fault. I
beauty.
mean, they're
Or they
not,
use their
and they
beauty.
have
Like, the sad part
yeah,
about it, it is their fault because they have an option. They always come up with the option to use smarts or beauty, and
to
they'll
eat
choose
crow,
beauty. So
and actually, yeah,
basically,
they get an option to eat crow, but then they never take it.
they never take it. Yeah, and the sad part about that is what a lot of those women that don't take it, they tend to lean more towards a beauty. And then the sad part when they get older, they run into somebody who don't really bend to their don't try to flirt or use their beauty. They basically get mad at the person or to call them out of their name or they get mad at them because all these other men basically let them slide on beauty alone Whereas this man won't let them slide on beauty. They'll make them use their mind and shit like that, and they can't. So they get mad. They basically get mad. Basically, what what's his name is saying in the comment section about getting in what's his name's live stream and him basically denying them and telling them that he's not real or this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other for the most part. Basically living in a big ass delusion is basically how it works. So yeah, that's basically what women do to men when they can't use their beauty and they make and a man makes them use their intelligence for the most part. They get mad and they start, trying to shame them and calling them names and stuff like that because their beauty doesn't work on them. That's typically how that works.
It's really not a meteoric rise at all, because I've seen it all low key.
Then
It's
boys,
kind of
then
just
men, the
like,
men are pretty much men are pretty much for the most part, then men are pretty much fuck boys that grew up with single mothers because they don't know how to treat a woman. They just basically do stupid shit and they do what they see in the videos or see what all they see around the neighborhood and other stupid shit like that for the most part to validate themselves for the most part. It is what it is. And the same goes for everybody else under the sun that pretty much falls into that category or people who revolve around that category, the fuckboy category.
hmm yeah, and how do those people come about? I have a lot of experience with interacting with those people. Like some of my friends have been like that, not because I use my friends as a platform for that, but because sometimes when it comes to managing your resources as a man, you have to take certain risks, and like those risks end you up interacting with all kinds of different people. And so, like, if you're in a certain financial situation, it's quite possible you run into somebody like this. Um, Even when you're a kid, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like, and so part of something that really stands out to me about these specific people is that they use honesty to manipulate people. Like they use the fact that human beings are naturally honest. And so and it's almost like when you call them on it, they're so naive they don't even take responsibility for what they're doing. So like I had a conversation where I was talking about what different because we were kids, stupid kids, right? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, who do you like to watch on, and I mentioned an adult site or something, and then this person mentioned something about it, and the fact that uh, my his friend and me started to like kind of give him shit about it because that's what you do as a kid. You give somebody shit, like everyone does it, and that's what I'm trying to make a point of fact is that like not everybody's like this, but like the way that he reacted was so harshly and with so much aggression that the only reaction that I could do as a young kid was laugh. Like I just wanted to laugh. I thought it was funny. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of these situations, I think it's funny because I don't really have the power to hate somebody that I just feel bad for. Like I would rather laugh about that than have hatred towards that, you know. And the sad thing is like no, most people don't even have the sense of humor to actually understand that or get those kinds of situations because they're always trying to be the be the least exposed and be like the most hidden and preserve the most information, but yet they're the ones asking all the questions. You know, like they're always the ones that are like, "How tall are you?" Like, but like it just really it boggles my mind completely.
Yeah.
Is Jaguar talking about the Prout Life hashtag that he can
He's talking about he missed our rose blades basically.
Rosie, you fucking dirty bitch, you fucking prat, I'm gonna smack you. But yeah, this has been a nice chat here this evening. It's like verged on chill and also very very deep. It's been a deep chill stream. How are you feeling, Tico?
I'm pretty good. I'm just chilling right now. Just chilling. Drinking a beer, just chilling. Watching NASCAR and drinking beer.
Oh my gosh. Double I was going to talk about NASCAR too. I wonder if he's listening or what he's doing.
Who?
No lie.
Yeah, I wonder what he's doing too with his goofy ass self. I sent y'all both a link, so you can't say he didn't get it.
Yeah.
So I sent it to the text message, and I sent it both the both y'all solo and together chat rooms.
Hey, do you think you're gonna get a PS5?
Who, me? I just got a PS4. What am I doing? Why the hell am I going to buy me a PS5?
I don't know, man. I just was like, I'm just pocket watching. How tall are you? How tall are you, Tico?
Shit.
You have hair? It's over.
More hair than most people.
Over for you.
Shit, I got more hair than
Yeah,
most
I'm one
people.
of those people.
I'm actually rocking a fro as of late.
No, yeah, but let's talk about that short thing, because that short thing has got me listening. You talk about Marco all the time, but
Marco's short as hell. Marco get bitches though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Marco gives women all the damn time. Shit, I taught Marco game.
Yeah.
I literally taught Marco game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Marco was always striking it. I taught Marco game in a heartbeat. Shit, because he's short. Shit, he works out and he's short and he's a shit. He always gets women. He always gets tall girls too.
Right. I've actually noticed that too. It's like they always get the taller girls.
Because girls be talking shit. Like, you're short. I don't date short men. Mm-hmm. That's not what your girlfriend said. He's an asshole too. He's using game and being an asshole to his advantage, basically.
Yeah. That's hilarious. That is genius.
But I heard it one time. The girl goes, "Oh well, you're short. I don't really mess with short men. My dick is bigger than you, bitch. Stop playing."
Yeah.
She started laughing. She started laughing and she gave up her number.
Yeah. Like as soon as you start admitting the stuff, it just makes it so much easier. Like if you just
definitely
be honest, don't lie. Don't lie to a kid. But that's just like that's a real problem I have with certain people. It's like you try to black pill them when they're like so young or they don't have experience. It's like they're not emotionally developed yet.
It's one thing if you red pill somebody. It's a whole other thing if you try to MGTOW somebody or black pill somebody. That's just abuse at that point. Red pilling people is normal. Black pilling people and trying to skip people to just go straight MGTOW.
The government
that's abuse if they're at a young age, basically. If they're older, then that's a whole other story. But if they're younger, I'd just say red pill them. Give them a couple doses of red pill every day or something like that.
Yeah, that would actually help them. Don't give them like a barbiturate.
Yeah, don't give them stupid shit. Or tell them nonsense, basically.
Yeah. Or unless, like, if you're Yam, you could tell them, like, esoteric nonsense and still help them. And then just be, like, really helpful and just open.
Because like I always say, there's two types of black pill. There's one side and there's the nihilistic side that all they talk about is and Yam fell out. Goodness gracious. Yeah, there's the black pill. There's a black pill, and then there's the there's a nihilistic black pill. Then there's the black pill that's just straight knowledge for real knowledge, without no bullshit, basically. And the difference between the nihilistic black pill is they just basically teach you how to be negative for the most part. And this is why I was telling somebody, if you're going to be a nihilistic black pillar, you can't be MGTOW because MGTOW is all about growth and bettering yourself. If you're nihilistic, you don't want to better yourself. You just want to be stuck in this. Just want to be stuck in a rut. Basically, it's just facts.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad part about that is you can either go two ways if you want to be a MGTOW. You can only go one way as a black pillar if you want to be MGTOW. You would basically have to go the knowledgeable way, which will be like the esoterics or the Vedic or the skeptic, the skeptics or the Gnostics and stuff like that, religious based ones, or you can go like knowledge based ones for the most part, like Nietzsche and stuff like that. If you're going to go that direction, but then you got most of the other people that's on YouTube that you see are all about. I don't got the looks, and I'm ugly, and this, that, and the other, and I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up and probably like go hang yourself. I'm sorry, but that's the only time when I think people should hang themselves. If you're gonna think like that, you should just hang yourself.
Yeah,
like legit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't even care. Like hang yourself if you're gonna think like that.
Yeah, because it's just like it drags everyone down so much.
Yeah, like no, it's not even that though. It's more or less the fact that look, dude, if you feel that way about yourself that strongly, you should probably kill yourself. That's legit how I feel about that. Like, and that sounds wrong.
I mean, imagine
that sounds wrong as hell. But I'm sorry. Look, if you feel that way, that strongly about that, if you feel that strongly about yourself, then you probably shouldn't be on Earth with us anymore because you're annoying and you're annoying little spiteful little.
Yeah, you have to constantly remind people.
Yeah, like you're a little annoying little what's the word I'm looking for? Sniveling little moron, basically. And you're a coward, basically. You need to just go get rid of yourself because if you're going to act like that and talk like that, you just need to get rid of yourself. Well, you're a waste of fucking skin and you're a waste of fucking skin and oxygen at that point in time.
That's true. I mean, imagine if in the tragedy of Oedipus Rex or Antigone, like if Oedipus felt so like fatalistic and nihilistic about his situation, and then he didn't gouge his eyes out, and then he just lived the rest of his days amongst the people of Greece, and then he would just become so pathetic that everyone would have asked him like just die already.
Definitely.
or anybody like and I think it's like it relates to failure, like if not even if you're a failure, but if you choose to look at things as like never ever getting better, certain things, and then you reject any sort of knowledge or outside opinion, you essentially like alienate yourself and then become just like you basically just alienate yourself. You become alone, and it's like you had people before that actually cared about you. What happened to those people?
Mm-hmm.
Like when we talk about the movies nowadays, it's like what happened to all of that amazing imagination that existed in like this world and stuff, and like now we live in a box in a movie theater, and it's like everything has been shifted to the left.
All the people who have all the artistic creative people got shoved under the fucking shelf or shelved,
and now they're not represented
and they're not
anymore.
Yeah, it's like they're so now we're forced to watch bullshit and
bullshit.
We're basically forced to watch vomit that just got put up on the screen for the most part, because that's all it really is vomit anymore these days, because there's barely any good movies that come out. It's basically like a bunch of women just vomited all over the place and just threw it at the wall, and that's supposed to be art now and shit like that, like they're Picasso. No, you're not Picasso, bitch.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to actually create some shit, go back to the drawing board and actually think of some real shit, basically, to put in this fucking movie to make it a good movie. Just because you take a fucking title, just because you take a fucking title from a fucking movie and try to retitle it and make it so that it's okay, you can't do that. You actually got to have a story to go with the fucking shit that's believable and shit like that.
The next Marvel movie is gonna probably be like X-Men Climate Alliance,
probably, or it'll be
X
women,
X girls or X.
Some stupid shit like that for the most part.
LGBT.
And the sad part about that is
that doesn't be called LGBT man, not X. That would be
and the sad part about that, the thing that pisses me off the most about that type of shit is like, look, if you're going to make some stuff or you're going to recreate some shit, I'm gonna need your dumbass to come up with a fucking script that's actually pretty good, and not just run off the not run off the fame of the fucking title that you just ripped off. Basically, I'm gonna need you to actually recreate it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need you to actually I'm gonna need you to actually honor that movie or honor that title or honor that franchise by actually doing good with that franchise and actually coming up with like finding some good writers is a good start, a very good start. Then finding some people to, who can actually act is another good thing. Because all these motherfuckers can't fucking act. You're just throwing a bunch of lame ass motherfuckers in. Hell, I'm not even an actor, but I'd do a better job than all these bitches that you put in these fucking movies.
Oh, dude, I would too. Give me Ray's lines and wait. Is she Ray Skywalker? Is she really?
I thought she was Palpatine.
Oh, Ray Palpatine. Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, give me her lines, man. I'll deliver them better, and I'll do a better British accent too.
Shit.
What do you want? No, gardening.
I could have Eddie Murphy'd all them damn people in there. I could have been Finn. I could have been fucking Poe. I could have been Poe. I could have been all the motherfuckers. I wouldn't have been Chewie, but I'd have been everybody else under the damn sum. I'd have been the criminals. I'd have been Commander Hoth, whatever the fuck his name is. I could have did
Dameron.
I said Poe. I could have did Poe too. Shit, I'd have did them all. Yeah, you could have put me in brown face, white face, light face, pink face, brown face. I'd have been like 9 different characters, like I was fucking Eddie Murphy and shit, like that in that one movie.
I would really like Mr. Forma to direct that. Mr. Forma, assistant director, or double IB assistant director, if he's okay with taking the power hit, he could be.
Yeah, right.
and then we could like producer, like True Sherm could produce it. Then we would have like we have so much, we'd have like so much backing. Because we just send True Sherm at him, and True Sherm, like we send True Sherm at Pokimane to get money to invest in the big town Star Wars movie.
Right.
And then he would use his crispy mouthpiece to manipulate her funds and all the Twitch stock funds. But wait, like stealing
shit. Yeah. I could have did a better job in Brie Larson's role. Just give me a damn wig. I could do a better damn job and shit. I would look like 50 Cent in that one video when he was clowning Rick Ross.
Or in I'm the Man.
For real. I'd have been cutting the fuck up.
America sent me I'm the Man by Chris Brown and 50 Cent.
Right? Right?
He's like, here you go, yeah. And I was like, this is awesome.
Goodness gracious, I'd be cutting up shit. Like for real, that movie would have been better if I'd have starred in half those roles. Shit. Hell, I could have did Ghostbusters. I'd have played the black lady, the fat white lady, the other 2 white ladies, the nerdy white lady. Yeah, I'd have made that. I'd have made that work. Shit. It would have sold out at the box office. With Tico's playing all 4 roles, oh, I gotta go see this shit. This is gonna be funny as hell.
And you're like the big white Michelin ghost thing. So
for real. I mean, I do all the damn roles and shit. Like, we gotta save money. You just have to pay me. I'd be more believable than the rest of them heifers that played that role. Shit.
And like, what do you think about the whole actors getting paid tons of money to do these films? Like, it's really the director's vision.
Yeah.
And like, you see a lot of directors are treated very poorly or viewed controversially.
The sad part about that, without the director, that movie wouldn't do that. Yeah, the sad part about that, without the director, that movie ain't going no fucking where. Let's just keep it 100. I don't know how many times that a movie had to change director.
I embody the character so well that no one else can play it better than I
but the sad part about that is you still need a director to keep it going. Because at the end of the day, without a director, 9 times out of 10, there
would be no Joker. I'm the best Joker there is.
Yeah, the sad part about that though is, like I say, you still need a director because everything halts when there's no director.
Truth.
You can pretty much replace an actor. You can pretty much CGI the hell out of an actor, but without a director to actually direct where everything's going, that movie ain't going to be shit, or that movie ain't going to go nowhere. That movie's going to be in limbo for the most part.
No, and
Costa Rican currency is called clone.
Clono. Okay, cool.
Cologne. COLON.
You guys make a clone coin?
They have coins already. But yeah,
No, I mean like
the sad part about that, I don't know if they're going to do e-clones. I don't think they're going to do that shit. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll follow the whole entire. I don't think they'll follow the whole entire currency thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they'll follow the. I don't think they'll follow the what they call it, Bitcoin type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll follow in that the footsteps of that. They'll probably go last if they do, for the most part.
I mean, what do you? Sorry to drive it off, but like, what do you think like would be different about society if a lot of things go towards the coinage, like the e-coins and stuff like that? Like, don't you think that would dramatically change things?
To be honest with you, Americus, if I was to get paid, I would probably take it in the American equivalent of clone. I wouldn't even take the U.S. dollar. I would take the I would take the Costa Rican clones.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the American dollar goes.
Yeah, the American dollar is fine, but like if it collapses, then I want to out basically. Can't really trade American dollars when it ain't worth shit if it's going to collapse.
I just keep picturing like the Weimar Republic and people wearing masks, and I just see people in N95s dancing on stage doing like kick drills, and they're just like, we can't breathe, like they're just suffocating, and it's just sad.
Sad part is that's probably going to be the new norm for every damn body, sadly.
Exactly. Like this dance competition, all the dancers were forced to wear masks, and the audience members were also wearing masks.
I swear to God, if that becomes a new normal in the United States, I won't see masks in the United States no more. I'm gone.
True.
Only place I want to have to wear a mask is in Japan. That's it. I'm not wearing one in the United States. Fuck that shit. Fuck you. Fuck your face and fuck your day. Whoever's running for president, whoever's the governor, I don't give a fuck about you. You can all kiss my fucking ass. I'm not wearing no fucking mask.
Yeah, it's so freaking ironic because people talk about social distancing as if that's hard to do in the United States. Like, they don't call it the
Bitch, you don't talk to nobody. Bitch, you don't talk to nobody any fucking way. You text everybody online. How you gonna be sitting next to somebody? How you gonna be sitting like 2 feet from some fucking body, sending them text messages instead of fucking talking? Open your fucking mouth. How you gonna be sitting at the same fucking table texting each other? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like you can't. The sad part of this
put that down in front of me. Don't hand it to me. And it's like you are freaking. You think you're a celebrity or something. Like,
here's the stupid shit. Here's the stupid shit about the first world countries that I've noticed. Like everybody's okay with doing shit up until they have to do something in a first world country. When they have to do something, now they're upset with it and they don't feel like doing it.
Right? It's like they feel.
But all this time before, they were able to do this shit and they were okay with this shit and they don't even care because they can do this shit. Now that we actually have to do this shit, now everybody want to bitch and complain now.
Right. And it never ends, man. They're like, hopefully it goes back to normal. It's like, no, you're not going to go back to being a normal.
And then the sad part about that is when they say, and the sad part about this, I hear a lot of Democrats complaining about wearing masks and hoping they go back to normal. The minute Trump opened his mouth to say we're gonna lessen the bans, we're gonna lessen the restrictions and the lockdown, basically. Then all them motherfuckers that were screaming for freedom and going away. All of a sudden, he opens his mouth and says that we're going to lessen the thing. He's stupid. He don't know what he's talking about. He shouldn't do that. We're all in danger. This, that, and the other. But bitch, you were just complaining 5 minutes ago about being in a lockdown. Now that he says he's going to lessen the lockdown, now you're going to bitch at him for lessening the lockdown that you were complaining about being in, which makes no fucking sense to me. Yeah, the U.S. added $4 trillion to the whole entire debt, which is fucking stupid.
Oh my goodness!
I understand why they did it. However, if you didn't lock down every fucking thing, you wouldn't have to do that shit. I'm just saying, if everything was a fucking lockdown, we wouldn't have to add $4 trillion to the fucking debt.
Yeah, and then it's so weird how this doesn't affect anything at all. Because if there was a lockdown, like, wouldn't some people be saving tons of money? And
No,
should
because the sad part about that when you kind of figure lockdown, that means a lot of people are going to be unemployed because there's a lot of places because there's a lot of jobs that's not essential that everybody got laid off from or let go or furloughed from basically, and that's not getting paid
I
for the
know, but
most
you
part.
don't. That's the thing. But you don't have to keep the stadiums and everything, all the big infrastructure and everything
Yeah, but the
running
problem with
in
that,
order.
the problem with that though is nobody knows how to save money. Only what less, I think it's what like about 10% of the population, 15% of the population has money in savings just in case shit like this happens. Whereas the rest of the United States don't have that kind of thing going on for themselves. They literally live paycheck to paycheck. And Yan fell out and he's back in again.
It
But they
glitched out.
literally,
The thing glitched out. Yeah.
yeah, they literally live paycheck to paycheck. So the sad part about that, what's up, Dippin? The sad part about that is the problem with people is only what a small percentage of people in the United States actually have a cushion to actually survive. A small percentage, I think it's what like anywhere between let's say 10 to 15% of people actually have a cushion to live on, whereas the world, rest of the country pretty much lives paycheck to paycheck. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have any savings, you don't have anything to save. And the sad part about that is all these entities still want their money for all these bills that you're using for the most part. And if you're not working, if you did have a cushion, it's slowly dwindling away depending on how much of a cushion you had. It's just facts. But yeah, it's just stuff like that that just blows my mind and bothers me.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem that I was having. Is like I just assume that people are able to save money. I mean,
Thanks, America. It's over 80%. Over 80. So I was pretty much close when I said
what did you
10
say?
to
What did you
10,
say?
10. I was pretty much close when I said 10 to 15% of Americans pretty much live paycheck to paycheck. America said over 80%. Over 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck. So I was about close when I said that. But yeah, it's just shit like that. Like, you got motherfuckers spending money on bullshit. You got motherfuckers spending money on just any fucking thing. Or just living above their means for the most part. They're basically what Hall always said. They basically have Mercedes taste on a Toyota budget basically. And that's typically how a lot of people live. They be trying to do Mercedes shit or Jaguar shit on a Toyota budget.
Right. Yeah, and then because you tell with the things that where we tell in ourselves as a society, because we actually worship the people who are in videos that are like they're in fancy cars when we know that it's all actors. Like everyone is acting.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like,
hell, most of the rappers who got fancy cars rent that shit. They don't actually own that shit. They rent the shit. I mean, it's different from the sad part about that. The sad part about that. There's renting, there's leasing, and then there's actually buying the damn thing. Rappers tend to rent the shit. They don't even lease the shit. They rent the shit. So let that shit sink in when you think they're all stuck rolling around.
If you want a car like that, you want to put in the money to actually get.
You actually want to own it, and you actually want to own the shit.
You want to have it. You need it to be your property. You don't want to be driving somebody else's used.
Yeah, it's basically because the sad part about that is that when they buy all these Bentleys and these Rolls Royces and shit like that, when they're rolling around, they're literally renting them. Like you might as well just go to. It's basically like you go to the dealer and you basically rent it for like a month or 2 or 3 months, or you have a month-to-month lease. You have a month-to-month thing.
Somebody up in there. Just had like a hooker up in there. You don't know if people were like sharing needles in that car or something, or what was happening. It's like if you rent a car like that, it's like if it's not from a trust, especially if it's not from like someone you actually know. I mean, they could all kinds of messed up stuff that could have happened in there. But yeah, it'd probably be better to buy something like that outright. And it just goes to show you like why people fall for like get rich quick schemes or get a quick dose of dopamine schemes when it comes to like presences online. Too, like going back to our previous topic.
Yeah, true. And the sad part about that, America's, despite the fact ownership sounds good, what a lot of people fail to realize when they buy shit is the maintenance cost for upkeeping the shit. If the shit's going to set you back an arm and a leg or a pretty penny, don't buy it. If you can't afford it in the back end, Because there's cars that you'll buy and it sounds nice and it's like $15,000 or $16,000 or $20,000. Then when you need a new tire, it's like $500 for a new tire and shit like that. Like, no. Or when you need some brakes are what, like $200 or $190 for some damn brakes and shit like that. So but, like you got to actually pay attention to the. You actually got to pay attention to the the whole entire maintenance that go with that shit for the most part.
But like normal men don't really buy stuff like that without like on impulse. You know, it's only if they've been indoctrinated to be a simp and they're like trying to wipe night for a woman is why they buy it. To say like put that woman on a pedestal and be like you deserve better, and it kind of like part of the topic that I really want to bring up is like kind of has something to do with the one that I brought up with No Sweetheart is like there's certain people that will spend so much money, like even you Tico, you talk about the Twitch or the e-thoughts, the Twitch thoughts that get people to spend tons of money on them, and like there was a nurse that did that once. His name was Grant. And he spent like all of his parents' savings on a Romania date person or a Russian date person, and basically like just bankrupted his whole family. And it's like there's people actually out there who will do that, and they don't know how to save money, or they don't know how to appropriate money into actually bettering themselves and making more money, but they'll have like a job that earns them a decent living on it, and but then they'll lose it. And then they'll go into a spiral. And it's like, if they don't make themselves productive, this happens to everybody, regardless of who you are. And it's like, even though it's a small portion of the population, it is bound to happen under certain circumstances. So it's like, you're gonna think like, it's not me. There's no way that could be me. Like, my life isn't that depressing. But at the same time, you're not recognizing the problems in your own life that are leading.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that'll say that, but then don't realize that they're walking right into that, which is fact. Like, that would never be me, or that's him, not me, or any type of shit like that, basically. The next thing you know it, I don't know how I got here. I don't know what happened. Oh my God. This is unfair. Like, should have been paying attention.
No awareness.
Should have kept both your hands on the wheel, nigga.
Right.
Like, for real.
And it's like, don't do as I do as I say.
Good night, Dippin', if you're going to bed. Oh, man.
Buy Alexis. He said in that case, buy Alexis.
Yeah,
right?
For real. For real. At that point, you might as well just buy a Lexus. It's made by Toyota. At least you know it's going to be decent quality. Granted, the actual Toyota line's better quality than actual Lexus, which is actually pretty funny. But yeah, buy a Lexus.
Oh yeah, Toyotas are better. No, but he was talking about the used. Buy a Lexus used. Buy a
Lexus used.
Yeah, that's actually doing it authentically. If you want to rent
a car. Well, no, because if you buy a Lexus used, it's more.
No,
it's more expensive.
Sorry, don't buy a Lexus used. Sorry, that's bad. No, that's bad.
Yeah, because Lexus. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can buy a Lexus used because it'd be worth it. But the sad part about Lexuses being used is they're actually more expensive than BMWs and Mercedes used.
Because of the upkeep, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because of the depreciation value on Lexuses is better. Yeah. The depreciation value on Lexuses is better than Mercedes or BMWs.
Mm-hmm.
It depreciated at a lesser rate than they do, which is actually pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh man! All right. Well, we might as well call it, because
might as well.
I gotta be doing stuff later or tomorrow. I need some rest. You probably got something. You probably got a busy schedule. I know Rose has a busy schedule.
Obviously drinking.
She's drinking. I know. Yeah. Nobody has a busy
right now.
Schedule.
Leave a message. she's a prat and a donkey and a prat and a donkey.
And then like people are gonna come.
I stole that from Deno.
It's like
she's a prat.
Every time Tico says basically ding.
Right.
Every time
right.
Tico says for the most part. Ding.
Right. Cinema Sins, Tico Trent style. Drink to this. Bing!
Yeah, you can definitely drink to this. Drink every time Yam mentions or says a phrase from a different content creator. Ding! Okay.
Right? Drink every time Double S says construct. Ding!
Drink every time Duzangs is AFK. Ding!
Right? Right? AFK.
Oh, there you go. No, I mean respect, man. I know you can't be here because you're going through it, man. But
yeah. He started a business. He's definitely going through it right now. He got a shit ton of customers apparently.
Yeah, his business.
He said he's shocked how many people want their yards done and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so he's busy right now. He's
I remember living in the Midwest there. We living right there in the nowhere USA. It's like if people have a plot of land, they want to take care of it. They go out there gardening every day, out there, mulching every freaking day. And if they have a lot of trees in their yard, they're like always maintaining the upkeep in there. And it's like it's sad to see how like certain like housing in general has just been like kind of taken over. It's like most people just live in an apartment and it's super expensive. And like I'm like I feel bad, because not a lot of people are able to actually like have ownership over something. So it's like you don't really treat the place around them with like a lot of respect, a lot of dignity.
No, they don't.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do though, right?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, this is Baron Yam. I'm gonna do my outro because I'm gonna get going. But you guys have a blessed night. Thank you for listening. Thanks Rose Blaze for showing up. Thanks Shinobi Wan for being a +1 shield. Thank you Dippin for coming here. We'll get more subscriber, or hopefully we get a subscription from you. Subscribe, man, like. And thank you Americas, and thank you Jaguar. Thank you Oki.
Yeah, thank everybody for showing up. Definitely.
Thank you.
I really, even all the creepers who creeped in the background. Thank you.
Thank you. And have a blessed night, guys.
Y'all have a blessed night. It was fun.
All right.